What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is main deck Monday, and we're finally covering a full Tauros deck. Like, we are focused on Tauros and nothing else. I mean, we have a little bit of other stuff to focus as well. But today, we're focused on Tauros. We're going to have a lot of fun today using Rage, Horn Attack, and Mad Bull GX. And this is what we're going to do today, guys. The deck is based around that and nothing else. That is the main focus. No Decidueye, nothing, no Evital, nothing funky. We're just straight Tauros and nothing else. So Tauros, 180 HP, has an attack called Rage. It does 20 and then 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So if he has 160 damage on it, well, you do 180, which is fantastic. Horn Attack is what makes this card so scary, because if it was only Rage and Mad Bull, it'd be a totally different situation. But now that you can Horn Attack for 60, and 60, and 60, you can eventually knock out your opponent, even if they don't want to attack you, which is fantastic. And we also have a GX stack, which is broken. Mad Bull GX. Its attack does 30 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So if there's 10 damage counters on Tauros, you do 300 damage, which knocks out everything in the game. And that's why Tauros is going to be our base card right now. 2 Shaymin to help set up, 2 Giratina. Now, the Giratinas are going to be in here to help out against Mega Mewtwo. Mega Mewtwo does destroy Tauros because you can put a lot of energies on it and you can start taking one-shots on your Tauros, and it's not fun at all. But with Renegade Pulse, you make it where Megas can't hurt you, and you have Chaos Will, which is 100, and your opponent can't play tools, special energies, or stated cards from their hand during the next turn. You can also use Giratina against the Mirror. That way you can Chaos Will them and make their only DC maybe discard, and you can attack that way. 2/2 Garbodor to shut down abilities. Obviously, you don't want to use this if you're planning to attack with Giratina because it shuts down your Renegade Pulse. And 1 Mewtwo. As I said, Mewtwo is a very hard matchup, and this Mewtwo has Psychic. It does 20, and this attack does 20 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. This not only works for Mewtwo, but other stuff as well. Like if you're almost knocking out a Volcanion and you need a Psychic for a knockout, or if Evital has like 200 energies on it, you can one-shot it that way. So Psychic is very useful in this deck, which is really nice. We play 4 Crush Hammer, try to slow our opponent down so that way they can't stack a bunch of energies on an Evital or Mewtwo. 1 Escape Rope, 2 Nest Ball to search your deck for a base Pokemon and put onto your bench and shelf your deck afterwards. 2 Special Charge to get back DCs and special energies, which is really nice to reuse this over and over again. 3 Trainers Mail 4 via Seeker. 2 Parallel City to put your side basically down to 3, or if you need to make Water, Grass, or Fire do less damage, you can do that way as well. 1 Delinquent to discard a stated card in play and make your opponent discard 3 cards from their hand. 3 Lysandres. That way, if your opponent like attacks with something, you can like guaranteed you can Lysandre anything up off the bench. 3 in, 1 Ninja Boy, which is still really cute because if they swing into somebody early, you can Ninja Boy out of it. You can Ninja Boy your Shaymins off the field into Tauroses so that way they can't Lysandre them up. 4 Sycamore, 1 T-Flurger to go to Crush Hammer. So that way we're slowing our opponent down all the way and you can eventually win that way. 2 Fury Belts to make your Tauros even stronger. Now they have 220 HP. 4 Float Stone, try and get that Garbodor out ASAP. 3 Double Dragon and 4 DCs. But before we go to the deck, or the games, I forgot to give a huge shout out to Mies. He is the one who shared this list. He made first place at the Netherlands in a League Cup with it a couple weeks ago. So without him, this list would not be possible. His list was actually posted on the Charizard Lounge. Andrew Wimble has done great things right now. He is posting a bunch of Sun and Moon decks on his website. I'll leave a link down below. Make sure you check that out. He has a Primal Clash through Sun and Moon standard deck list. It has Darkrai Dragons, Decidueye, Gyarados, Lapras, Lurentis, Mega Mewtwo, Mega Rayquaza, Solgaleo, Tauros, Turbo Darkrai, Vesqueen, Volcanion, and Evital EX. He's trying his best to gather everything like deck list wise that's made cut or done well. That's very interesting. So shout out to Andrew. I'll leave a link down below. Shout out to Mies for sharing his list. Fantastic guy. Great player as well. Really, really great. I mean, he made second place at Worlds back in 2015, 2014. Yeah, but there we go, guys. Hope for this video. This deck is amazing. It's a lot of fun to play. Tauros-GX is a fantastic and fun card to play. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great Monday, and let's see this deck in action. Alright, so when it gets Criseo, playing a Dark Colors deck, which could mean Evo's Garbodor or a Darkrai deck. So heads, we won the coin flip. I'm hoping it's Darkrai because I really don't want to play against Evotal, because then they might play their own Ninja Boy Tauros stuff, and we get a mulligan, so press done, okay? And we'll see what happens here, guys. Opponent's going to open Garbodor. That's not too much of a surprise. I mean, I guess all they really know is we're playing against Psychic Dragon and Colorless is all they really see from our side of the field. So press done. We'll get a new hand of 7, and let's see what do we find. And we start a Tauros. We start a DC, which is fantastic. So press done, and let's get this party going. And we can get a turn 2 Horn Attack as of right now, which is great. We just gotta find a Trubbish. Trubbish, maybe Float Stone. Sorry, I got a text message. But I'm gonna draw a card, and there's an Evotal. Okay, so put it. I think right now I'm just gonna pass. We could put a DC on the active, but then he might play stuff like Enhanced Hammer, so Dark Energy active. Okay. I just want to get the first attack off. Alright, so Ultra Ball, I'm going to discard 2 cards from his hand. He plays his own Garbodor, as you see right there. Okay. I'm kind of scared to put down Shaymin, because then pitch Black Spirit, there's just Shaymin coming down, okay. But right now, we're just going to DC the active, Crush Hammer, trying to discard the Dark Energy, and Fear Belt to the active, which doesn't work right now, because of Evotal is in play, so Shaymin's setting up for 3. Okay. But I think this is a fine. I think this is an okay matchup. It's really hard for him to one-shot a Tauros, so Fear Belt to the Shaymin, okay. He must be Sycamore here. Max Elixir, okay. I wonder if he has an N in his hand. He's going to Sycamore's hand away. Nope, just pass on Dark Turn. Alright, so we get a VS Seeker. So I'm going to Trainers Mail, look at top cards of our deck. Grab nothing, okay. We will DC the active, play Crushing Hammer. Tails, and right now we're just going to Horn Attack for 60. Alrighty, so to our opponent's turn, he can pitch Black Spirit, does 60, so that's not too scary, okay. If he goes for the 60, we can Rage for 80, which does knock him out. This Professor Kukui gonna draw 2 additional cards, and if he attacks here, we can actually knock him out with a Rage, which is really cool, okay. So will he go for an attack and potentially get knocked out or not? Alright, so let's see, what does our opponent do here? He's in a tricky situation. He's just staring at a Tauros with a DC. Nothing else has been done. There's a Dark Energy in the active, and just pass on to our turn. Alright, there's the Giratina, which I'm not going to put down, and 2040. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is Float Stone the active and Shaymin for 2. Okay. Now, this does give him potential of Lysandre the Shaymin, but I don't want him to Ninja Boy take a knockout. So I'm going to Team Flare, discard a Dark Energy, and then I'm going to Horn Attack for another 60, and then next turn we can knock it out, okay? Alright, so we're potentially maybe making him where he can't attack next turn. If he finds an Evotal at a DC, he's only do 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. So that's not enough for knockout. I don't care about that. What he could do is maybe Lysandre the Shaymin, and the Shaymin gets stuck. But if we find a DC, we get Sky Turn and knock it out, which is really nice. So we'll see what our opponent decides to do. This is VS Seeker for Professor Kukui. Gonna draw an additional 2 cards. I'm just thinking he has to have an N or something, and he just doesn't want to play it. Maybe, I don't know. We're gonna just like draw past him, but that's okay. We are taking a knock. Okay, there's a Escape Rope to our Shaymin. Okay. But he might be able to get attack off. There's a Dark Energy. Okay, so he's not attacking this turn. Alright, so in our turn, we find an end. So we are going to play this in. We're going to get both of us new hands of 6. And we find our own Escape Rope to knock out his Evotal this turn, which is fantastic. Alright, so we'll Escape Rope. He'll break up his Evotal. We'll break up our Tauros. And we will take a knockout with the Horn Attack. There we go. Alright. So both sides have been very not exciting, I guess the correct thing to say. But there's an Ultra Ball. We can find another Tauros, put that in the field, which is great. Put a Fear Belt on it, and just keep on Horn Attacking. Alright, so that is the plan. I'll probably just discard the Double Dragon. It's really not needed in this matchup too much. The only card that might be needed is Garbodor, but I don't think I'm going to dig for that either. Okay, so there's an end. We'll both get new hands. We get 5. He gets 6. He does get rid of an Ultra Ball, which we could use a Tauros. Okay. So, there's a Giratina, Life, and another Tauros. Alright, so this is great. So there's an Evotal come down, okay. A Dark Energy to the Evital. Trubbish coming down. Don't care too much about the Trubbish. Garbodor doesn't really matter to us. And my opponent's got to decide how is he going to play this match out. So Super Rod is going to shuffle 3 combination cards back into his deck. What we could do next turn is a Lysandre up the Evital, smack it for 60. Not a bad play at all. And if he swings it to us, we can then Rage for a knockout. And a pass on to our turn. Alright, so we're going to Lysandre up the Evital. I'm actually going to put a DC on Shaymin. Put down the other Tauros. Retreat. And just Sky Return. Now that seems a little bit weird, but that way he doesn't have a Shaymin to pick on the following turn. He only has to pick on Tauros, which he really doesn't want to hit. Now if he does hit a Tauros this turn, he'll do 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and then we do 130 back to it if we find. Oh well, we don't take a knockout. That's unfortunate. All right, so via Seeker for an N. Okay, that's fine. DC's active, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 120, 34. Actually, if he swings, we're taking a knockout with Rage this turn, which is great. Alright, so Trubbish, Special Charge, Lysandre, okay. And does he go for an attack here? If he does, he gets knocked out, unless he Wise Cyclones. He discards a Wobbuffet, which is definitely, like, probably for, Decidueye, not Decidueye, but Decidueye Vileplume, okay. So let's see, Shaymin coming down, 9, 10, 11. Now, what we could do next turn, if he does Wise Cyclone, we could have Lysandre for Shaymin and take a knockout that way. That's really cool. Yeah, that's a play we could do. But does he Evo Ball? If he Evo Balls, he does take a knockout, then we can smack him for a Rage knockout, which is really nice. This is why Tauros is so scary. Like, he just has all these different options he could do, and just passes into our turn. He is scared. So we're going to Crush Hammer, trying to discard the DC, and nope. Okay. So I think right now I'm just going to Rage. I'm not Rage. I'm going to Horn Attack for another 60. Okay. We could Team Flare Gun, discard the DCE. But that doesn't do too much. 1, 2, okay, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 41, 60. He really, like, realistically, he can't take a knockout next turn, so I'm just going to Horn Attack for 60. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He only do 170 next turn if he finds a DC and a Fear Belt. So that's not too bad. If he does Wise Cyclone, we can now Rage for the knockout, which is really cool. And like I keep saying, this is why. Oh, there's his own Tauros. Oh boy. Alright, so things have changed now. They have changed. Now, if he does Wise Cyclone to the Tauros, we still take a knockout. I'll probably just Sycamore. I'm not too concerned about that at all. Yeah, alright. So, does he Wise Cycle to the Tauros? Does he Evo Ball? Does he retreat to the Tauros? This is a weird matchup going on. If he retreats to the Tauros, he definitely wants to go for a Rage. There's a DC being attached to Shaymin, okay. Let's see. If he Sky turns for 4, 4, 5, 6. We actually don't take a knock on anybody, which is very unfortunate. We could have Lysandre Trubbish just knocking out, which is not a bad play either. Because, okay, so he's going to retreat to Shaymin. Sky Return for 40. Okay. And who does he send up? Probably going to send to the Tauros, most likely. He wants to swing into it. But what I'm going to do instead is Lysandre up this Trubbish. We top make a DCE, which I think, once again, I'm just going to hold on to right now. And I'm just going to 4, 5, 6. We actually don't take a knockout. Ooh, I did the math wrong there. Alright, but I think I'm still going to Rage, okay. For 60. I did the math wrong there. That's my fault, okay. So my opponent's turn. Now, if he... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could do... He has about a max loops on, like, multiple energy to take a knockout on this Tauros. Okay. Yeah, so now it's weird. He can retreat to the Tauros and, like, he'll want to Rage, but if he rages, we can then Mad Bull for knockout. Yep. Okay, so there's a DC to Shaymin. Looks like we're going to see another Sky Return. Alright, choose a Shaymin, okay. Looks like we might see another Sky Return for 30, okay. And let's see, who does he send up here? If he sends the Trubbish, I'm going to retreat to this Tauros like a knockout. So yeah, on my turn, what I'm going to do is put a DC on this guy. I'm going to put down a Tauros. I'm going to via Seeker for an N. Okay. And I'll get a new hand of 5. He gets 6. I just want to try to get the DC and Shaymin out of his hand. There's a Mewtwo, Ultra Ball. Not too much in our hand that we care about. We could Nest Ball for Trubbish, just get out of our deck, which is not a bad play, just to thin it out. And we will retreat to this Tauros, and then Horn Attack for 60. Alright, so there we go, 6 damage. We'll go down to 4 price cards, and we find a Float Stone. Alright, so next we put down a Float Stone, put down Garbodor, Sycamore, there's Tauros coming to the X spot, and what I'm going to do right now is just Rage. I think that's probably the best play. We could... Okay, so there's a DCT active. Is he gonna Rage or Horn Attack? That is the $1 million question. What we could do as well is retreat and use Mad Bull to knock out this Tauros. Alright, and the Trubbish coming down. Don't care about that too much. And it in. Alright, so he gets rid of that Float Stone out of our hand. We go down to 4. But does he Rage or Horn Attack? Alright, so Sycamore, Ultra Ball, okay. Yeah, I definitely think we're going to try to find a Float Stone retreat to this Tauros and use Mad Bull to knock this guy out. There's a Max Elixir going to the top cards of his deck. Okay. I'm going to put a Dark into the Evital. Alright. There's a Float Stone to the Trubbish. And there's just a Rage for 20. Alright, so on our turn we find a Trainers Mail. So we'll play Trainers Mail. Probably should have Ultra Ball there first. Yeah, Lysandre's not a knockout, so I'm gonna press done. I'm gonna Ultra Ball, discard Special Charge and Trubbish to grab a Garbodor. Okay. We'll put down Garbodor, and we will Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. Do we find a Float Stone or not? And we don't find one just yet. I'll play Crushing Hammer. Tails, okay. What to do? Alright, so I'm gonna Fury Belt this Tauros. Shaymin set up for 2. Yes. Okay. And no Float Stone. We're gonna Shaymin set it for 1. Do we find a Float Stone? No, we found a Parallel City. So Parallel City's not too bad. We can play it right now. Reduce our side down to 3. Okay, so we discard 1 and 2. Alright, so now we have to think what we're gonna do here. We can Rage for 40, and then he can't take a knockout, so I'm just gonna Rage for 40 right now. Alright, so on to our opponent's turn. Let's see. He can Mad Bull, which doesn't knock us out. He's 40 damage short. Okay. He can Rage again, but then he does 60, bring it up to 80, and then we can Mad Bull to knock out this guy and have this Tauros to take a knock on this guy. So yeah, Tauros math is very weird. Alright, so there's a VS Seeker for a Lysandre. And who's he going to Lysandre? I'm going to bring up this Tauros, okay. He's going to Mad Bull it. And yeah, he is going to use Mad Bull GX for 120 damage, going down to 4 prize cards. Alright, so on our turn, we'll send a Tauros. Okay. There is a Fury Belt. Okay. So we get hit for another 40. So I'm going to Special Charge. Shuffle the DC back in our deck. I'm going to put a Fury Belt in the active, and I'm just going to rate... I'm going to VS Seeker for Team Flare Grunt, actually. To discard that DC. Yep. Okay. I'm going to Rage for 50, which brings up to 90, then 110, which doesn't knock us out. So yeah, I'm going to Rage, okay. Alright, so 50. On to our opponent's turn. This math is getting really crazy right now. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's something. It's something to think about here. Okay, alright. He's down 3 VS Seekers with an Evital in the field. If he does put a ton of energies on this Evital, we could potentially use Mewtwo to knock it out. So there's a Float Stone to the active Tauros. Okay. He's not taking a knock out the Evital. That is impossible. He cannot do that. Okay. What we might need to do as well is get a Giratina. There's a VS Seeker for it in, which is fine with me. We're both going to get 4 cards. Okay. Alright, so we'll get 4 cards. He gets 4 cards as well. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. He's not taking a knockout. There's a double dragon, a sycamore. Okay. No Ninja Boy. There's a Fear Belt to this Evotal. Okay. Alrighty, so a DC to the active. Is he going to attack with this guy this turn? He is going to rage. Okay. Going to do 110, bringing us to 130. On our turn, we find a double dragon. Okay. Let's see here. So if he rages again, he could do 80 damage, which doesn't knock us out. So I'm going to do this via Seeker for a Lysandre. Bring up this Evotal. And rage for a knockout. Okay. We're doing 160. Go down to 2 prize cards. We find a in and a float stone. Okay, so if he swings with this Tauros, he's only doing 60 max, which is not 20. Yeah, he's not taking. Oh no, he can do 110 max. Oh, that knocks us out. What math was I doing a second ago? I do not know. There's a dark energy on that guy. Okay, I don't know what math I was doing just then. That was me being dumb. All right, so yeah, he's just gonna rage for a knockout, going down to 2 prize cards. Okay. Wow, I do not know what math I was doing right there. That is very unfortunate. Okay. Alright, so there's a rage for the knockout. Dumb. I thought he was only doing 90. I don't know what I was thinking. Either way, he goes out to 2 prize cards. We'll send up Garbodor. Okay. On our turn, what do we find? There's a Delinquent. Okay. So I'm putting a Float Stone on this guy. We could Delinquent, but I think right now I'm doing a Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards, and we find a DC. Alright, so I'm gonna Ultra Ball, discard 1 and 2. Okay, there's Mewtwo. 20, 40, 60, so that's not enough for knockout. Okay, so I'm not gonna grab anything. That's fine, okay. We'll put a DC on Tauros. We will retreat and rage. We could no 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I'm just gonna rage right now. Okay, because he can only do 140 max, which is not enough for knockout. If he does swing with either one of these guys, we could knock out. If he doesn't end us, we can via Seeker for Lysandre to bring a Tauros and take a knockout that way. There's a Dark Energy Evotal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's pretty much no way he can take a knockout this Evotal. So we should be okay. There's an in. Alright, do we find a via Seeker or another Lysandre? Okay. So, okay, there's a Sycamore to in. Alright. Now, like I said, if he does attack this turn, we take a knockout. We Mad Bull. We're good to go. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Yeah, it's a knockout either way if he attacks right now. So go to retreat to Trubbish and just pass, which is not a bad play at all. Do we take a VS Seeker and we play Trainers Mail and we find a VS Seeker and a Lysandre. So we have both the outs right now. So we'll grab VS Seeker. We'll VS Seeker for Lysandre. Bring up that Tauros and take it a knockout. And there we go, guys. Unless I did the math wrong. I think I did the math right, though. Yep. So right now, we'll Horn Attack for 70. And we did even Mad Bull. That's just how crazy this, like, Tauros war thingy is. I think we might have misplayed it just a little bit. Y'all probably let me know ASAP if I did. But we'll see one more game with the deck here in a second. It's a very fun deck. Tauros is just, like, a really weird card. And you had to figure out ways how to manipulate around it. You saw our opponent was kind of prepared for Decidueye Vileplume by playing that Wobbuffet. We can't see his deck, but that's definitely why it's there. But we'll play one more game with this Tauros Garbodor crazy deck here in a second. Our stats, we're 1 for 3. Coin flips didn't really matter too much, but we'll see what happens in the next game. Alrighty, guys. Alright, somebody gets Diesel Flex. Oh, no. Oh no! Oh, don't say it so. Don't tell me it looks like it's Vileplume Decidueye. Alright, so we won the coin flip. How can we handle Vileplume Decidueye? That is the big question here. I do not know. Alright, so get a mulligan and press done. Okay. Alright. Is it Vileplume Decidueye? You gotta think it is, since you saw grass and colors. And that's like the most dominated deck in standard form right now. It's pretty good. Alright, so we start Tauros, start Giratina. Okay, so we'll put Tauros in the axe spot, of course. But right now, we don't have too much going for us. Unless you count that we have a Nest Ball, Float Stone, and then a Garbodor in our hand, which is pretty good to have turn 1 in there. There's the monster himself. So we are going to Nest Ball. We are going to grab a Trubbish. The only downside right now is we don't have too much outside of that. We'll put down a Float Stone and we'll pass. Okay. Alright, so next turn, to our opponent's turn, they could get a crazy turn 1 setup, but we have a Garbodor in our hand, so it's a weakness policy. Okay, weakness policy. Okay, alright. There's an Oddish. So you see right now, they are going for this turn 1 crazy thing. Alright, so Shaymin set up for 2. The big question is, do they play Beedrill-EX? If they play Beedrill-EX, they have a way to beat us. If they don't, we pretty much secure the game. There's a Sycamore, so they're not going to end us this turn. They discard a DC, a Gloom, and a Vileplume, which, I mean, it's not too bad. You do have Decidueye GX thing. So there's an Ultra Bug. Going to discard 2 cards from his hand. He has to find 4 Decidueyes to knock us out turn 1, which is very hard as well. It's very complicated. It's almost impossible to do turn 1. So he discards a Decidueye and something else. Grabbing another Shaymin. He hasn't played a Forest down yet, which is definitely his problem. There's a Decidueye. Does he have a Force or Vitalizer? No, just going to tackle for 10. Alright, so now on our turn, what we're going to do is we're going to Ultra Ball, discard Lysandre and... No, I'm going to discard Parallel City and Giratina. We're going to grab a Shaymin. Opponent had a bad start, which is what happens sometimes in the deck as well, but we'll Crush Hammer, try and discard the energy off the active. It is heads, so we'll discard that, and we'll Shaymin for 4 new cards. Can we find a DC? If we do, we'll take a knockout this turn, and we don't. Okay, so we'll just put on Garbodor, and we will just... I'm actually going to Ninja Boy the Shaymin back into our deck to grab another Tauros, and we will pass, okay? Now he can't use Decidueye, he can't use Vileplume, unless he plays the Beedrill. The Beedrill is what we have to worry about. So Float Stone to the Oddish. He hasn't conceded just yet, so he's feeling somewhat confident. There's Sycamore, discard his hand, okay. We do have a Crush Hammer, get rid of that DCE, okay. There's a Forest Style Plants coming down. Okay. The max he can swing with Tauros, with Decidueye is 90. Okay, so there's a Revitalizer, gonna get 2 Grass Pokemon back into his hand. There's a Gloom and a Dartrix. I mean, does he play Beedrill? I mean, you gotta think he does if he's not conceding the game right now. There's a Gloom, Dartrix, Vileplume, okay. Pass the Dart turn, okay. So we will play Crush Hammer. Heads, we'll discard the DC, and we'll pass on to our opponent's turn. Alrighty. He can't retrieve this Rowlet. It's stuck in the axe spot. He has to commit energy to it. There's a Dartrix, or he can evolve a Decidueye, put a Grass Energy, and use Decidueye that way as well. So a Sharp Blade Cool, take a 20 to the Garbodor. Alright, we need a top deck, a D. Alright, so I'm gonna Lysandre up Shaymin. Okay. We'll pass. Where's our DCs? Alright. So he's down, what, 2 DCs right now? Yeah, 2 DCs. There's his own Tauros hits the field. What? Are we about to see another Tauros war here? Really now? Grass Energy the Dartrix. Sycamore. Discard his hand. Draw 7 new cards. Does he find another Float Stone? Alright, there's a Decidueye coming down. Okay. My opponent has not given up yet. I give them props. Because right now, what they can do is find a Lysandre, bring up Trubbish, bring up Garbodor, and take a knockout, okay? So things could go really downhill. There's an in. Can we please find something, Pokemon? Alright, Trainers Mail. He is digging for a Float Stone, and there's an Ultra Ball, okay. Gonna get another Decidueye. Oh, yeah, he has to get a Decidueye. Shaymin is not useful because he can't set up because of Garbodor. There's an Ultra Ball, discarding a Rowlet and something else. Probably grabbing a Decidueye, and we do see a Decidueye coming down. Alright, so does he find a Float Stone? I don't think so just yet. Alright, so pass on our turn. Okay, so we get a... Okay, we'll pass again. Alright, so on our opponent's turn. Alright, so he needs a Float Stone DC to one-shot this Garbodor. Now remember, he is down, what, 2 DCs already? 1 Float Stone to Gloom. What we could do is we could Lysandre Tauros, get it stuck in the axe spot maybe. If you commit to Float Stone to this guy. There's a DCE, okay. He is going to Sky Turn for 30. And what I'm going to do is Lysandre Tauros and get it stuck in the axe spot. Oh, thank you, Pokemon. I love you. Alright, so we're in. Finally. Alright, so we get a DC, a Trubbish. Okay, so put down the Trubbish. We will Crush and Hammer. Tails. We'll DC the active. Shaymin is not useful. We're going to VS Seeker for it in. Okay. And we'll Horde Attack. Let's see. 30. Yeah, we'll Horde Attack for 60. It doesn't really matter what we do here. What we're hoping what he does is put a DC on a Mad Bull GXs right now. That is the key. If he does that, we take a knockout, or he takes a knockout, then he can't use his Decidueye anymore. So Float Stone's the bench Decidueye. DC the active, okay. Does he have a Lysandre hand? Oh man, if he does, baby. Oh man, does he have a Lysandre? If he does, he can bring up the Garbodor, take a knockout with the Rage attack. Alright, so we know we have another Garbodor in the deck. I know we probably have plenty of Float Stones. Can we find another Float Stone Garbodor? And there's a Mad Bull GX. He is going to waste his GX on the Tauros, which is fantastic to me. Alright, so we'll send up Garbodor. Because remember, he's down 2 DCs already. There's a VS Seeker, and we're going to Special Charge, shuffle the DC back into our deck, and we will end. We need to find a Garbodor and a Float Stone plus a DC right now. And we don't find one just yet. Okay, so I'm going to Ultra Ball. Discard 1 and 2. To grab another Garbodor. Okay. We'll put down Garbodor. We will put a DC on this guy. We will VS Seeker for it in. Okay. We will retreat. And we will... 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8, 9. So I think right now I'm just going to me. Alright. We gotta think about this. Maybe. Okay, so right now I'm just going to pass. Maybe. Become a really weird situation. I think I'm still going to Rage for 20. Yeah. So if he rages me back, he'll hit me for 100, and then we take a knockout on him. Okay. Alright, yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan. Alright, because he hit me for 100. If we find a Fear Belt, we still stay alive. But we gotta find another Float Stone for the Garbodor. A DC on to Decidueye. Okay. So he can't retreat now, but he can Life and take a knockout on Garbodor. Alright. Does he have the Lysandre in his hand? If he does, and no, just gonna Rage for 100 damage. Alright, so on our turn, we need to find a Float Stone and a Fear Belt. DC are not what I wanted, so play end. Okay. And we don't get it. Oh my goodness. Alright, so put down Tauros. We will Ultra Ball, discard 1 and 2. If we Escape Rope... No, I think we have to knock out the Tauros. That's definitely, like, the bad guy right now. So we'll grab a Shaymin, okay. There's 3 Float Stones in our deck. We just can't find one. Alright, so VS Seeker. And I wish Team Flare Gun was in our hand. I'm gonna grab it an in. Yeah. And I am going to Rage for the knockout. Going down to 4 prize cards, but then he can take a knockout this guy. Okay. Alright, there's a Team Flare Gun and an in. Alright, so that's good. That's good to see. We get Team Flare Gun discard his last DCE. And then he has to play a Special Charge to get it back. Okay. Alright, so there's a Love Ball. Okay, moment of truth. Because I'm fine with him knocking out the Tauros because we have a Team Flare Gun. We discard the DCE. And he's already played 2 grass and 2 on the field. So, hypothetically, he might not have any more left. What I'm scared about is if he has a Lysandre to knock out Garbodor. And he is going to Rage Leaf to knock us out, going down to 2 prize cards, which is great. Alright, so we'll send up Garbodor, sure. Hey, come on, Float Stone, baby. Russian Hammer. Alright, so we'll play Crush Hammer. Heads. We're going to discard the DC off the active and then play in. Alright, with this in, we need to find a Float Stone and a DC. And we still don't find a Float Stone. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is put a Fear Belt on this Garbodor. Retreat into Tauros. VS Seeker forward in. I don't know why VS Seeker, that's pretty much useless. So pass, and now what we could hypothetically do is deck him out. He is down 4 DCEs, okay. There's another Dartrix coming down, okay. So he's probably, I mean, unless he plays like 6 grass. But he has to swing at a Tauros eventually. So I guess our plan now is just deck him out and we'll win that way. Alright. So what can our opponent do? There's a Shaymin coming down, which doesn't do anything. Do we have 2 Garbodors online right now? Pass on our turn, alright. We just need to find a DC. So press done. I'm just going to press done and done and done and done, and we're going to eventually deck out our opponent. If we find a DC, I will start using Horn Attack for 60. Just put a lot of pressure on him, but there's pretty much no way he can win that I can think of. Yeah, you gotta think he is done for. He wasted his GX attack on that Tauros. Unless he plays Special Charge, then things get thrown into a wrench and gets all confusing. But on our turn, we find a Trainers Mail. Press done again. Okay. We're down 4 Crush Hammer, 4 VS Seekers as well. Alright, so press done on our turn. We find a, hey, there it is. So DC the active. And we'll start using Horn Attack. And right now, we're going to keep on Horn Attacking. And we'll eventually win this game because our opponent's not going to be able to attack us anymore. And as soon as he does, we'll be able to Mad Bull GX for the knockout because we'll do 270. Yep. Increase the Vileplume. Okay, I don't care about that. On to our turn. We will Horn Attack again. Okay. I do not care if we knock out his Vileplume. That literally doesn't bother me at all. Because we're not going to deck out. We have so many cards left. He's going to deck out first, and we're going to win this game. Like, I am 1,000,000,000% positive we're going to win this game. There's literally no way we're going to lose. I don't care. Bring in the Garbodor. Do not care. Because right now we're going to pass, and then we're going to pass again, and then we're going to pass again. There's a Float Stone. Guess what? I'm going to pass again. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to waste anything on this Garbodor. I do not think our opponent plays Special Charge or way to get back to energies. Press done again. And also, if we find 2 DCEs, we have another Special Charge left. Trainers Mail. Oh, please tell me he plays. Okay, there's an in. I don't care about an in at all. Okay. This game might be a long one, but don't you worry, guys. I will bet everything right now that there's no way we lose. There's a double dragon. We'll press done again. Okay. We're just going to hold our hand forever. We are not going to lose this game, guys. I bet you money right now we're not going to lose. He's going to eventually concede. So on our turn, we get a double dragon. We'll press done again. Okay. Alright. There's a Float Stone. There are plenty of Float Stones now. After if you build a Garbodor. Alright, so he put the grass into his Dartrix. Alright, so he is going to start Sharp Blade Quills. Oh, baby. Alright, so this is where things get interesting. So Sharp Blade Quill. Going to hit the Tauros. Ooh, I see what he's doing now. Alright, so we're going to Float Stone, Fear Belt this guy. We'll press done. Okay. Ooh, this is spicy now. Alright, so we have to find a DC now. Alright, oh, well, with T-Flag, I discard the grass energy. Alright, do you have another grass energy, sir? Do you have another one? He has 2 cards left in his deck. There's 5 grass. There is a okay, so you gotta think we have it now. He just evolved into his Decidueye. His only out, and we top deck that. So there's N. I mean, that pretty much spells that it's over. Yeah. Alright, so we get 18 cards, whatever. And a victory, and there we go. Woo! Almost would have lost that bet, but I'm glad we played that Team Flag round. I'm glad we didn't play that card yet. And whew, Whew, I was scared we are going to lose that bet there for a second. But top deck that T-Flugger, and he doesn't have any more energies left. Press done. Look at our opponent's deck. As you notice, no special charge and 5 grass energies. All of his grass energies are on the field. His all 4 DCs are gone. And there we go, guys. There is the Tauros Garbodor deck. We took down one of the scariest decks in standard format. That is Vileplume Decidueye. He didn't get that terrible Vileplume, and we are good to go. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great Monday. Alrighty, bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.